Welcome to KRA's The Hub, the official podcast of KRA Corporation. And now get ready to hear workforce topics and trends you need to know on the go.
This is Jonathan Overall with KRA's The Hub podcast. I am the host of the podcast, and thank you for joining us today. At the top, I want to encourage you, if you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify, to follow us there. Also, I'm excited to announce we are also streaming on YouTube. So if you're listening to us on YouTube, ensure to subscribe and follow us there, like the video of today's podcast. And I'm excited because this is December, and throughout this year, we have really been rolling out a series called Get to Know KRA. And we've been looking at different aspects of our work, our business structure, but also our local projects. And this month, we are highlighting the theme of one-stop operations. And that is different than our direct services in the area of career and business services under workforce development. And today we're joined by a special guest, one of our program directors in the Northern Nevada region, Reena Singh. Reena, welcome to KRA's The Hub podcast.
Thank you, Jonathan. Pleasure to be here today. Very excited to talk with you.
Yeah, well, I look forward to diving into the work that you're doing in Northern Nevada. But let's start off by you sharing with our audience a little bit about your story. What brought you into workforce development, and how did your background prepare you for the role that you're in now in Northern Nevada?
Thank you, Jonathan. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, I was working with young adults that had severe autism. And we would work with them to build their skills up and then match them with internship opportunities within the local community. And after that, I joined Job Corps, and I kind of moved up really quickly. I was an academic manager. I went over to work-based learning, which tied directly into workforce development for our youth and young adults. From there, I went over to become the programs director, and I had all of our trades and training components under my supervision. And then I was blessed to come out to Nevada and join KRA. So I'm located over at the Reno Town Mall in Reno, Nevada, at the Employee NV Career Hub.
That's great. Now, you mentioned Reno. We also use the term Northern Nevada, but Reno is the hub that you're operating out of. And the region there are some rural areas that are part of the coverage there within the system. It's a unique economic landscape as well. Reno has been growing. A lot of people from California, a lot of businesses have been moving to that region. And so you have a mix of growing industry, rural communities, a diverse job seeker workforce pipeline. When you describe the region that you serve, how does that shape the approach and the services that are operated as a one-stop operator there?
Well, we are really heavy on kind of the casinos and the gaming industry out here. And then also hospitality ties into that. But in the past couple of years, we have seen a shift in Northern Nevada. We do have the railroad that crosses through here, and it was a hub way back in the day. So we're seeing a lot of bigger corporations kind of landing out here and starting up anything from warehouses to mini delivery systems, and then also moving their goods out to California and Colorado and like the Midwest. So it's a really good mix of things up here. Then we have our rural areas that are really rural in between Northern Nevada and Southern Nevada. From here all the way down to Vegas, there are little towns, but they're starting to boom with construction, a lot of warehouses developing. Some of the bigger names are like Panasonic. We have Tesla out here. We have a huge Walmart warehouse. So there's a lot of development and growth, and it's only going to get better from here on out.
So, Reena, one of the core values of KRA's one-stop operation is customer experience. I mentioned at the top that one-stop operations is different. It's distinct from career or business services where we're directly serving the customer. But in this environment, we're coordinating that experience. What does the user-friendly, streamlined customer experience look like for those that are coming into the Employee NV Career Hub? And what are some of the priorities that you place in making sure that that vision comes to pass?
Great question. Thank you, Jonathan. For each client that walks through our doors, we really want to meet them at where they're currently at. People are going through a lot, there's hard times, and you really want to kind of meet them directly where they're at. Then within our hub, with all of our partners, we all work amazing together. And we want to make sure that when we are transitioning them from like one type of service to another, that there's a warm handoff. And then we were able to rope in all of our community resources and support systems to make sure that they're getting all the support that they need to be able to succeed. When people come through our door, we really want to kind of look at them as, not only the individual, but unique with their experiences, their strengths, and their weaknesses. And our goal here is to pick them up where they're at and get them that job, which leads to a better job and then a career from that. So, really using a client centered approach and making sure that it's all hands on deck all the time.
You mentioned the partners, and that is really that's the key that makes the system work the way that it does. And the role of a one-stop operator is to coordinate that. And it's essential to the system. But there's also for the customer, the brand, the cohesive brand of the Employee NV Career Hub. Talk to us about how you and your role are really helping to coordinate that across the various partners, different organizations to ensure that it is cohesive, it is one brand, it is one representation for those customers, and that it is seamless.
We do a really good job here of not only having meetings, but also partnering to make sure that each client is getting the biggest benefit of walking through our doors. I myself make sure I'm taking time every single day to meet with our partners and engage with them and to learn kind of what new referral systems they may have in place, what different services we can offer, and how those handoffs can happen with the least stress like on our client. We've started having partner meetings, engaging our partners a little bit more, but really taking that time to learn what the partners have to offer and letting them learn what my role is as the one-stop operator. It is a pleasure to meet not only our partners that are seated here within our hub, but then also our partners that are out in the community. A really special project that I've been working on out here is helping to launch the Atlas partner referral system. And once it kind of gets up and running a little bit more, it is going to be fantastic. So what we could do is it's a referral system. And once you log onto the system, you're able to see all the different partnering agencies, not only within the hub, but within the general community. And it's going to streamline the referral system. So we're able to get referrals across a lot quicker and then track it on our end for our outcomes to make sure that the individual that was matched up with, let's say, Catholic Charities or Salvation Army, that they're able to gain the greater benefit of meeting with our community support systems and then tying that back into the loop to make sure that it's a total 360 and that all of their needs are taken care of. It could be anything from getting them a pair of shoes, making sure that they have clothes and work attire, all the way to, getting a fresh cut and making sure that they're good to go and they're presentable when they're stepping out and doing their interviews.
That's great. Yeah, it's always wonderful to hear how the system, the workforce system, it can harness both the internal resources that are perhaps there located at the hub, but also in the community. As the future of workforce dollars is uncertain, and it seems like the amount that's available is shrinking, that there are resources within the community to really leverage and to bring together in a seamless way so that every customer, I like what you said earlier as well, how it's about meeting the customers where they are, the customer experience. And as we talked about that being one of the core values, I want to talk a little bit about another core value that I know KRA has centered as a priority in its approach, and that is continuous quality improvement. Can you share with us? I know there at the hub that customer feedback is something that is a key part of the experience and helping to shape the improvements of the employee MV system and specifically that hub. What has been your approach in actively involving and setting forth a plan for continuous quality improvement with that customer feedback?
I encourage all feedback, good feedback, in between feedback, the feedback that we don't want to hear, but we need to hear. I welcome all of it. That allows me to see the bigger picture and exactly what our clients are seeing and feeling when they walk through our doors. Not only that, I try to do mini roundtables and engage with the partners on a daily basis to hear what their kind of barriers are and what things they're struggling with that directly affect our clients so we can mitigate those before they become a bigger issue and looking for ways to improve on a daily basis. We do have a survey system kind of upon exit or when they are given their instructions and then scheduled a follow-up visit. And in between that, that allows us to kind of see maybe the little things that we missed out on or referrals and community services that we may be able to tailor to them. And if it's a unique individual that has, a need that hasn't come up before, I'm able to easily kind of walk around our hub and engage with the partners to see who knows who and how we can get that client from A to Z. And then it's all about reaching out to that partner, that community resource, and kind of taking it from there.
So we've talked about the community. You mentioned earlier Atlas and
Mhm.
how important that system is in really coordinating and communicating when a need arises and making referrals internally, but also externally. Talk to us about your overall approach in community engagement. There's the system Atlas, but then there's also cultivating those relationships with the actual community partner.
Absolutely.
Walk us through that process and perhaps some examples of some collaborations or initiatives that you've really seen make an impact with the community involvement.
One of the things we've recently kind of started up again is our youth council meetings. So we're kind of looking at the younger generation and the barriers and different struggles and challenges that they have been facing to really tailor into our youth and then pull together all of our youth kind of support agencies within the community. And not only in Northern Nevada, but then also tying into Southern Nevada as well. In Nevada, you'll see a lot of people that will move from like Northern Nevada to Southern Nevada and back and forth based on the industries and the shifts that happen with business locations, different hubs and warehouses. So, really tailoring into that. If there is a community resource that we don't have, we are ready to reach out and to go and meet them and talk with them, tour their facilities, and really build that partnership and really honing in on the client-centered approach so they know kind of what we're looking for to support our clients. But then also on our end, we know what we can reach out for and what services are available at any given moment. The Atlas referral system, I was able to kind of help set that up out in Flagstaff, Arizona, in conjunction with the Arizona Workforce Department. And then when I landed here in Reno, we went ahead and started up Atlas, and we have just been kind of running with it. We did face a couple struggles at the beginning, but now that we have all of our partners and a lot of community resources that have joined the Atlas platform, things are moving really smoothly. And it is very exciting to see that handoff happen, not only in real time, like individual to individual, like person to person, but then also we're able to track the outcomes through the Atlas platform and see which partners are engaging more and which partners we might need to kind of go and visit and freshen up, our relationship and to really build off of that. It's very exciting. And that's like the highlight of my day is to be able to work with the partners and learn what new resources they have to offer or things that they're kind of struggling with. I know recently we had a lot of individuals that were struggling with food stamp services and securing basic needs within their household. And right away, I was able to network with one of our social services representatives that we have seated here in-house. And the information is real time, it's fluid. There's a greater understanding amongst everybody when that information comes out like that. And it really allows us to kind of pivot and move when we need to make sure that each client is being met where they're at and that they have the basic needs to be able to focus on that interview and focus on landing that job the next day. So it really helps out to have the partners in-house and to be able to get that information real time and to be able to jump on it right away.
Well, we've talked about how important it is to have well coordinated services. We've talked about the customer centered approach there. Um, what's typically called the one stop system, because there's really the one stop for all of the resources that you just outlined available in one place. But in Nevada, it is called the Career Hub. And when you look back on your time there, Reena, is there a story or is there a moment that you feel really captures the impact of the work that you're doing there as a one-stop operator?
Absolutely. I have two really good stories, but my first one, we have been partnering up with our local community college and offering basic English language courses in the evening hours. So folks that are working can go ahead and come in after work. It's really tailored to meeting each individual where they're at within their English proficiency level. And when we finished our first cohort, one of the students, when they were leaving, they were able to talk to me and the security guard and tell us, thank you so much, for offering this service. I feel very confident now in going out to do my interviews and engage with different employers. And just to see their growth within the cohort timeframe, how they are flourishing and becoming more comfortable with the English language. There is no better thing than that when you get to the end of that class and they're able to have a full-on conversation with you. Another great story we have clients come in every day that, have their own struggles, and a lot of people that are looking for kind of work that's, I don't really want to say phased out, but the shift within, the workforce sector out here and really meeting them where they're at and kind of honing in on the skills that are going to help them to land that next job. We have a client that comes in, pretty regularly, and she could be a little bit more challenging to work with. So right away, I, came out my office, I met with her and was able to sit with her to really hone in on those soft skills, interview skills, basic skills, like a really good firm handshake, looking your employer in the eye when you are, answering questions, being able to answer questions correctly and cohesively, and then being able to project kind of the feel of the interview and what the next steps are. She landed a job about a month ago, and she came by recently to tell all of us thank you with, the partners and everybody we have seated in house. And she's very happy. She's confident. There's no better feeling than seeing your clients land that job or step into that next step in their career development. And then to be able to hear those stories at the end. That is why we do the work we do every day. And that's another huge reason why I'm very proud to be a part of the KRA family.
Thank you for sharing that, Reena, and thank you for what you've done thus far to bring in the Atlas system. And it's great to hear the insights that you have in seeing that actually carried out on a daily basis and taking us deeper into understanding today what goes into being a one-stop operator and the coordination of services, and to see the arc of intake and ensuring that everyone receives the services that they need, but also the impact of those stories and what it's doing in the community. I want to thank you for your time today and helping to amplify that story. How can people learn more? Is there a website or social media that is specific to the Career Hub up there?
Absolutely. Yep. You can Google Employee NV, and all of our hubs kind of are spread out, and we do have them in the rural areas. If anybody has any questions or any thoughts, they are more than welcome to reach out to me as well. I'm very, very happy to answer any questions or even give potential partners or different clients that are looking for any resources or any help to do with workforce development, to come on over. I'd be more than happy to give you a tour, show you around. We can grab a cup of coffee and really engage with the other people that are seated within our house. And it's great. I couldn't have asked for a better crew and a better landing spot. My director, Miss Shanavia, has been beyond amazing. She is so supportive, very open, and I feel that I can really have the candid conversations with everybody at KRA. And at any given moment, I can reach out for help or a suggestion or even support whenever I need it. And I'm very thankful for that.
Well, thank you for joining us today in KRA's The Hub podcast. It's been great spending this time talking with you about what you're doing there in Reno. And hopefully you're staying warm this winter up there in Reno. I know it gets cold around this time, but you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, and thank you to all of our listeners. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for listening to KRA's The Hub. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. To learn more about KRA Corporation, visit www.kra.com. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll be back soon with a new episode.